you're embarrassed right now. You're about to really get it.
Oh my God.
Everybody, we're going to sing to Jessica.
Here we go.
In fact, turn around and look at her. Yeah! No more hiding in the corner, Jess. Okay, everybody, let's sing to her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jess. Happy birthday to you. Yeah! Voice acting is about acting, first and foremost. The best voice actors I know, in fact, with a very, very few exceptions, every voice actor I know has a huge background in acting. They've been on stage, they've done hundreds of stage plays, some on-camera stuff. They've studied theater. Many of them have college degrees in theater. They were actors first and foremost, and then somebody offered them the opportunity to act with their voice. And they did, and it kind of took off. That's what happened with me. The first person that ever asked me the way that I got into voice acting, I was working on a video production with a guy in Houston, Texas, and he said to me, "You've got a lot of acting experience, don't you?" "Yeah, been doing that since I was 10. And he said, "There's this place in town called ADV Films, and they buy these animated shows and they dub them into English and they need actors." He didn't say people that could make funny voices. Actors, they're looking for actors. And so the first thing I would say to anyone in here who's interested in voice acting is get involved in acting. Develop your skills as an actor, first and foremost. Get involved in school productions. Get involved in community theater. Get involved in church productions. Take acting classes. Take voice and diction classes. Develop your skills as an actor first. That's the most important thing. A lot of people don't realize, I don't know if any of you in here are old enough to remember when English dubs were pretty bad. About 25, maybe 20, 25 years ago, they were just hard to listen to. You know why? Because they used to hire radio guys and announcers as the characters. Because in their mind, in their thinking, in their rationale, they're like, well, these guys know how to speak on the microphone, and they're disc jockeys and radio personalities. But they know how to act. They weren't actors. So while their voices were really good, they couldn't really communicate the emotional impact and the dramatic weight of a story or a character. So for the longest time, English dubs were kind of lame. Until some studio had the brilliant idea, oh my gosh, we should totally hire actors to play these roles. And that's when they started getting better. So acting is the first key to being a voice actor. The second thing, which, again, I don't think you would want me to be dishonest, but it's the harsh reality, is you have to live where that kind of work is done. I've often said in panels, if I wanted to be a country western singer, I'd probably move to Nashville, right? Or maybe Texas, maybe Austin, someplace where that kind of work is prevalent, where you get a lot of exposure in that field. There are certain things that happen in certain parts of the country, some more in some cities than in others. And for voice acting, it would be Los Angeles, New York, Dallas, Houston, maybe Vancouver. I hear there's a little bit in Toronto. But there are only 5 or 6 places where there's enough of that kind of work that you can actually kind of audition and get involved in a regular, supply of work. Having said that, there's a lot of opportunity in voiceover work. Every city or town has businesses, right? You've got retail businesses, car dealerships, dentist office, grocery stores, you name it, right? Clothing stores. And most all of them want to advertise, right? They have TV commercials, radio commercials. Come on down to Smithson Honda and check out our new whatever. I mean, commercials are everywhere, no matter what size the town. So there will be a little bit of opportunity in that area, almost anywhere you live, certainly in Roanoke, or the nearby Danville, is that nearby? Bedford, Lynchburg, all around. I mean, there are plenty of opportunities for that kind of thing. But when you start specifically talking about voice acting, there are only certain cities where that kind of thing happens mostly. Acting experience, location, those are kind of the big things. Yes? Any music right now? Let me think. I have written some music for my Star Trek series, but that's not vocal music. It's just instrumental music for the series. I want so badly to do more. Every time I walk by a piano, I'm like, dang, I haven't played the piano in a long time. And I'll sit down and just play something. I miss it a lot. And I kind of get scared sometimes. I think, man, if you know what I mean, if you don't use it, you lose it, I sometimes get scared that if I don't play very much, I'll just kind of forget it and I'll lose that writing or singing or something like that. So I've been wanting to make a new CD, and I'll even tell you what it is. I've got 6 music CDs on iTunes, and I'll have them here, by the way, at the signing. I would love for you guys to get some of them if you'd like. It's good music. I mean, if any of you have heard my music, you probably would agree it's not crap. But I wanted to make a CD that was all piano vocal, just very simple but emotional piano and vocal. And what I wanted to do was I want to put like 5 songs on there that I wrote between 1980 and 1990, and then 5 songs that I wrote between 1990 and 2000, and then 5 songs between like 2000 and the present, or something like that, or like 86 to 96, 96 to 2006, 2006 to present. Because I've been writing, songs for a long time, and a lot of songs that are very reflective of what I was going through in my life, like a lot of you do. Write stories or draw or whatever based on what you're dealing with in your life. Some of them I wrote at Liberty when I was a student there, that no one's ever heard. I was dating a girl named Dawn Gray, and I wrote a song called Until the Dawn. And I took her into the little practice studios where the pianos are, played it for her, and I wrote another song at Liberty called Heart on My Sleeve. People say you wear your heart on your sleeve. So I want to do that. And I got so excited about the idea a couple of years ago that I already did all of the art design. I already did all of the CD layouts for all of the insert, the front cover, and the back. I was so excited about it. And then life took over. Actually, Star Trek took over. Star Trek Continues started right about the time. I just realized that. Right about the time I wanted to do that CD. And there's just been no time. But I'm going to do it, dang it. I am.
Yes.
I'm going to do it. But listen, before I forget, I have to let you guys know too, at the autograph session, in addition to the music CDs, I also have a live concert DVD. And I totally have to tell you about it. It's real. Have you seen it? I own it. She owns it, and she just said, "It's so good." That was
exactly
a
like
imitation. She did. Look, there she is. She's doing it again. I did a concert at an anime convention, and it's really great. I mean, the video is great. It's a big audience. Lights, colored lights flying everywhere, and fog machines, and cameras that swoop over the audience. I mean, it's a really good production. There are songs on there from Full Metal Alchemist, Dragon Ball Z, or in high school, D and Angel. Yes, and this is the best thing on there. This is what I wanted to tell you about. Oh look, Havercorn texted me.
Oh my god. And the voice actor.
I sent him a picture. There's somebody here cosplaying as Kylo Ren. Did you see?
Yes.
I took a Hamlet picture where I was like looking at the Kylo Ren helmet, and I sent it to Todd. And he's like, "Oh snap, yeah."
Oh
Okay,
my god.
he wants to cosplay as Kylo.
So done.
And oh, he'd be a perfect Kylo Ren. Oh yeah, with the long hair too. He's got. I mean, if he wore like a wig or something with the Kylo hair. He wants me to cosplay as like Han Solo or something. And, I'm like, oh yeah, because you want to kill me. I see what's happening here. Anyway, okay. So in addition to all this great music that's on the concert DVD, there's something else on there very special that I think you guys would really love. Years ago, when we were recording Full Metal, actually the first series, I was so in love with that show that I wanted to cosplay.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, how do I cosplay the Pipsqueak? Like, I'm too tall and way too old. But I wanted to do it. And then I started making up this story whereby a grown man could start turning into an anime character. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to ask some of the other voice actors if they want to be in it. And I did, and a lot of them like, heck yes we do. And so they made their own costumes. And we got together one weekend in Houston, Texas, where I was living at the time, and we shot something called Full Metal Fantasy.
Okay.
Now the only time anyone ever saw it was if I would show it in the context of a panel at a convention or in my live concerts. But you couldn't find it anywhere else. It wasn't online, it wasn't available anywhere. As I was putting together this concert DVD, I thought, you know, maybe now's the time to make it available to the fans. So Full Metal Fantasy is also on the concert DVD, and you guys will love it. It's really fun. It's a lot of fun. Am I wrong?
Human version of Ed's short rant.
Yes, he even does a short rant. But it's really fun. It's really a lot of fun. And it features basically all the voice actors cosplaying as their characters. Yes, ma'am. Learn more about it throughout whole your life, you know, years and years and years and years. And suddenly you come back full circle where the very thing that inspired you in the first place, you're getting to do. It's really a thrill. Really a thrill. Thank you for asking. Yes.
We're actually Liberty students
Oh,
currently.
sweet!
Yeah.
I was down there last night.
Yeah.
Were you down there last night?
Oh no, but our friends got to meet you.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
yeah.
That was so much fun.
yeah. So I'm in the music program right now, and I was wondering if you had any advice for an aspiring music student.
Any advice for an aspiring music student? I'm trying to think of something really. Don't say Star Trek. Here would be my advice, and this is going to go to anyone in the room who does anything creative, who wants to pursue anything of a creative nature. You ready? Don't ever stop developing your skills in your passion. And don't ever let your desire to perfect those creative skills be dependent upon whether you're being paid to do it or not, or whether it's a job or not. The beautiful thing about creative things is that they come from a different place. You know what I mean? If I learned a craft so I could have a job, then the purpose of the craft is the job, right? You learn how to do things so that you can get a job in that area and then you can pay your bills, right? Creative endeavors are different. They are just, they're a means unto themselves. You know what I mean? The end is just because you have to express it. How many of you draw? Look around the room. Good Lord. Most of you. Now put your hands down. I'm going to ask you another question, and don't put your hand up because you think it's funny. Here's the question. How many of you only draw if someone pays you? Now look around the room. See my point? You draw because it comes from inside. You draw because you have to draw. Or you sing. Or you write music. Or you make a costume. Or you write a story. Or you take photographs. Anything of a creative nature. You do because you love it. Because it comes from someplace else inside of you. Now, if you're ever blessed enough to get to do that professionally, then God has been very good to you. And you should be thankful for that. But that's not the norm.
Amen.
It's not the norm. And because there are lots of people that want to do creative things for a living. And there are only so many jobs and 100 times as many people that want those jobs. But don't give up. Here's my encouragement. Don't give up on any creative dreams you may have because of the odds or the reality or the lack of probability that you may work professionally in that field. Does that make sense?
Never give up.
Yeah. Always press on. In the words of Edward Elric, move forward. Just keep moving forward. Yeah, you got a good set of legs,
Perfect.
get up and use them. If you've been given a talent, if God has given you an ability, whether it's in music or drawing or painting or writing or dancing or photography or making props or making costumes, any of those creative skills, don't stop doing them. Don't stop doing them. I'm going to tell you a funny story about music. My music. You ready? I started playing the piano when I was 17. And I wrote all these songs, and then I recorded them. And then I had a CD made. I put 12 songs that I wrote on a CD. And then I paid a company thousands of dollars to make me 1,000 of those CDs. Shrink-wrapped, professional CDs. And then you know what I did with them? Nothing. They sat in my garage for years. You know why? Because it wasn't about selling them. It was just about doing the thing. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to write a song, and then I wanted to get it recorded. And then I wanted to write more songs, and then I wanted to have a disc. Like real musicians that have my music on it. It was never in my mind to make $1 million. It was never even a thought that I would become some popular musician or singer or songwriter. Would I love that? Heck yes, I would. But does it keep me from doing it because I'm not? Nope. I'm going to tell you something. One of the greatest days in my life was when an anime fan came to me one day at a convention just like this, and I was signing autographs. And the girl came up to me and she said, "Do you have any of your music? I'd love to buy some of your music." And I looked at her and I said, "Oh, you're sweet, but you wouldn't like my music." She's like, "I want to hear it. What do you mean? I'd love to hear it." And I went home and I thought, okay, I'm going to test. The next convention I went to, I took like 5 CDs. Remember the stash in my garage? It was doing nothing. Took 5 of them. And I thought in my mind, I thought they're going to sit on this table the whole time. Because I'm a voice actor, right? People are interested in that. That's not anything else. Just that. And I was very surprised, literally within 10 minutes. They were gone. And I was like, whoa. So the next convention I went to, I took like 20. Whoa. It never even occurred to me to sell my music or to make money with it. That wasn't the point. The point was just to do it, to accomplish it at a level of quality. So that would be my encouragement to you. It's not about whether or not you'll ever be hired to do a musical thing that will just give you complete fulfillment. The fulfillment is in the thing itself. It will never be in being hired to do the thing. No matter what your creative interest is, do it for the joy of the thing. And don't let anything rob you of the joy of the thing.
Yes, sir. You're good.
Okay, I've tennis shoes. Okay, she's gonna get barefoot here. Okay, stand up, look at each other, eye to eye. Don't lift your heads up. You got a little bump in the wig here. Hold on a minute. Stand up, stand up. 5'1". 5'1", probably. Dang it. I was hoping you would be less. I wanted to crush your spirit. No, I'm just kidding.
5'1".
You're adorable.
I understand that.
Short people are adorable.
I even do that.
Yeah.
I get very angry when people.
Can I tell you a funny story? I think some of you may have heard this before, but when I was a little boy, remember, you know how when you're growing, your parents always put little marks on the door, on the doorpost, the frame, like this is how tall you are now, and next year, like there's a little, right?
Oh no.
My mom used to do that to me. And the last number I ever remember being written on the doorpost was 4'11". 4'11 and a half, I think even. Because you know when you're that tall, every bit counts. 4'11 and a half. So imagine how thrilled I was when somebody said, you know, the mangaka wrote in one of the books how tall Ed is, in centimeters, I think. And they did the calculations, and it's 4'11 and a half. Like, it's exactly how tall the last time
Meant to play
I
the role.
remember being measured was.